Hi there, welcome back. Now in this little exercise you are given a table. In this table you have a number of columns. Right, let us see. Here simply you have the numbers. Here is the given rate for each year. Here is the total time given. And here you are told how the interest is compounded. Right, so let's take an example. If you're doing an example, you are told that the interest is 9% per year. You are told the time is 5 years. And you are told that the interest is compounded every 4 months. So how many times a year will you get interest? Well, if you do a timeline, 1 year, after 4 months, then after 8 months, and then 12 months, you're going to get interest 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So that's how we get the answer 3. So we're going to get interest 3 times. That's why we learned about timelines early on. We're going to get interest 3 times. Now once you work this out, it's very important to adjust the given rate. You see, the given rate was 9%. You've got to adjust it. You always, I'll repeat, you always divide the interest rate by this number here that you found. So in this case it was 3. So you divide 9% by 3. You end up with 3%. So this 3% you will use in the formula. Because this question says compounded every 4 months. So you will use 3% in the formula. Now take the time. The time given was 5 years. So you take the 5. You always multiply the time by this number here. You divide it by 3 here, therefore you will multiply by 3. Remember, it's this number here. It's this one here. So if you divide it by 3, then for time you multiply by 3. It will always be the same. If it's 3 here, it's 3 there. 5 times 3 will give you 15. So this answer is 15. It's 15, right? The 5 is written down here. So I'll just write it in bold here. That's 15. So the answer is 15. Alright, now what you're going to do, I want you to think carefully in your mind and do example 1. We're not going to stop the DVD. We're just going to give you a few seconds, to think. The interest rate is 12%. The time is 4 years. And interest is compounded annually. So how many times a year will you get interest? Right, good. You've been thinking, and I hope you have the right answer in your head. Annually means there's 1 year, 0 months, 12 months. You get annually means you get interest only 1 time. So it's 1. Now, if that is 1, what do we do to the rate? The given rate is 12%. So what do? We take 12% and we divide it by this 1. So 12% divided by 1 will give you the final answer, still 12%. So, and what do we do with the time? The time is 4 years. The time is 4 years. We take the 4, we multiply it by 1. And the final answer is 4. So I want you to follow this very carefully. If it's annually, it is 1. 12 divided by 1 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4. So you will use 12% and you will use 4% in your formula. Right, let's look at number 2. Have a look at number 2 and try to come up with the answers for number 2. In number 2, I have to remove the answers that were on the board. Now we're doing number 2. So it says half yearly. If it's half yearly, then there's your 1 here, 0 months, 12 months, then that means every 6 months you'll get interest. You'll get interest one time, two times. You'll get interest here, interest there. So, half yearly or biannually or every 6 months means the same. So you get interest 2 times. So, the answer is 2 for this example. Now, you got to take the what and divide by 2. Well, I'm glad you said 12%. You take the 12%, you divide by 2. Your answer is 6%. So, in number 2, when you're substituting in the formula, you will use 6%. Now you take the time. The time is 4 years. You take the time 4, you multiply it by the same number here. Same number. So it will be 2. And the final answer is 8. So, when you substitute in the formula, you're going to use 6% and you're going to use 8. Alright, try number 3 now. Give it some thought and try number 3. Every 3 months, or another way of saying every 3 months is to say quarterly. Alright, every 3 months, so there's your year, 0, 12, every 3 months. 3 months you'll get interest, 6 months you'll get interest, 9 months you'll get interest, and at 12 months you'll get interest. So you'll get interest 4 times a year. So there's your 4. Now what do? You take your 12%, divide by 4. 12% divided by 4 gives you 3%. So, in number 3, in your formula, you'll substitute 3%. And what is the time? The time is 4 years. So it will be 4 times 3, 4 times 4, because we're going to use this number here, you see. So it's 4 times 4, final answer is 16. So in the formula, you're going to substitute 3 and 16. Alright, so this little table teaches you how to adjust the rate and n. So if I just take number 3, if I take only number 3, in my formula, compound increase is equal to p into 1 plus I to the n. Then when I'm substituting, and let's say p is 1,000 rands, right? Because I haven't got p here. So p is 1,000 rands, so it will be 1,000 into 1 plus I. Now be careful, the I that I must use is 3%. 3% is 0,03. And the n is here, so the n that I must use is 16. So let's try to understand this and see how it works. So if I was doing number 3 and the principal was 1,000 rand, so where there is p, I will write 1,000. Where there is 1, you write 1. That's a constant. 1 is 1. Where there is I, for the rate, for the interest, you will use that 3. So that's why I wrote 0, now 3% is 3 over 100. 3 over 100, you put it in the calculator, you'll get 0,03. Then here is n. Here you will write down this final answer, which is 16. So that's how you use this table. Well, of course, for each question you will do a separate calculation. Alright, so I hope you understand this. We will stop the DVD.